Hi, what I'm about to show you is how to convert this regular servo into a continuous servo without doing any soldering or adding circuit to it. All it is just simple taking it apart, setting the potentiometer into the middle value, and then putting it back together. As you can see on my right side, I've been practicing a lot. This is the last one I did. This one, the glue is drying. And so let's take this one apart. First thing you need to do is take the screw out at the screw off at the bottom. Especially on the new one, they're really easy to take off. The old ones has been abused, but it's a good way to practice if you haven't done this before. A lot of the tutorial on the internet shows you how to do this, but using a voltage divider, using two resistors, soldering it in there in place of the resistor. That's fine too. I think it's too much work. You don't really need to put resistor in there and take off the potentiometer. Once you take the screw out, the middle section or the top section, just wiggle that a little bit. Should pop off, but be really careful. You don't want to, especially your first time, you don't want those gears to come off. There you go. Take a picture of that. Remember where everything goes. Use your Android phone or iPhone in use and do a close-up. Take a picture of it. And a lot of these servos I took apart, the design is almost similar. It's always 4 gears and the same orientation. So let's take this apart. Be careful, you don't want those pins flying out. And this right here, the notch that you see right there, is the potentiometer. So you can see I can turn it. And what we need to do with this potentiometer is set it on the, we're going to figure out the perfect way to set it in the middle, which is the 90 degrees. On a continuous servo, when this position is at 90 degrees, the motor will stop turning. Anything above or below that, the motor would either turn clockwise or counterclockwise. And what I do to make sure that this is in the middle is I use an arduino to set 90 degrees through here, and I would turn the potentiometer until the motor stopped turning. So let's do that. The next step is to put glue on the potentiometer. Then after the glue dries, we snip the top part of that potentiometer so that when you put this back in, it doesn't turn it. Because if we don't want that potentiometer turning, if it turns, then it's not going to work. Now I put glue on this one. Hopefully it's already dry. So we're going to jump from here to this one so that I'm not pausing the video. And this is exactly the same. The only difference is I took the bushing still on here and the bushing on this one's gone. So what I used to, on this one, the potentiometer is made out of plastic, so I can literally just use this or use a Dremel tool. Most of the time you're going to run into a metallic potentiometer where you would need your Dremel tool. See how easy that is? The plastic one, you can really just cut it. But I just want to show you how that's done using Dremel. All I need to do is put everything back in. Still have some plastic in there. Now before we move on this gear, there's a notch in there. On all the gears there will be a notch on here, and all you need to do is just snip that right off. There you go. Then this part, this gear goes first. Might be missing one of this rod. We'll use that one. And the next one is this. Make sure it sits on that gear in the middle. The next one is the one that we snipped off the notch, or whatever you call that. And the middle part goes on top. There you go. Make sure it's connected to this gear, and the top one goes connected to this left side of the gear. Put the screw back in, and we should be in business. Now we're going to use the Arduino again to test it. I mean, you can have your own servo tester that you can buy at an RC, but Arduino is so much cheaper. But then the disadvantage to that is you gotta program your Arduino if you're in. If you don't have one, that's fine. Just make sure, figure out a way to test your servo. You're gonna change that value from 90 to 179. And you see it's turning clockwise. Now we'll change that value to lower than 90. Let's try 10. You should see the servo turn the other way. There you go.